Right, we should be live. Can't see anything on the channel though. Alright, time for a quick audio check. My phone's notification will let me know of the same. Am I audible? I hope I'm audible. Alright, I'm audible. It's time to share the link with our good people of Tier 5. Alright, that is fantastic. I have the stream set up beside me, so good morning, afternoon, evening to you, wherever you may be in the world, and welcome to Aero League Racing Season 17 Tier 5 GR3 Championship race around Sainte-Croix. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, Circuit Sainte-Croix. I'm not very well versed with my French, but nonetheless, it's a 5-lap sprint race, and we have 16 drivers with us for this fantastic sprint race. And taking pole position is my former teammate Abhi in the Supra. He's taking pole. He's going to be starting on the softs. Danos in the Ferrari is in the softs. I think everybody's going to opt for the softs. I don't think there's anybody who's going to opt for the mediums here. I don't think this track is particularly harsh on the tires. IJF is on the softs as well. He's in P3. So the Ferrari is in second and third. Young Sappy in the Lamborghini is in P4. Gumb in the Adeptus ALR car is in P5. Lord Hans in the Alfa Romeo P6, so first of the Alfa Romeos. Ellis P7 in the Ford as well, first of leading Ford GT car here. Cracavelli in the fantastic liveried Jaguar. I think he's changed up his livery from last time at Watkins Glen, from what I remember. Boyan is in the original livery, so I was right. Cracavelli has changed his livery for this race. Boyan is in P9, Cracavelli is P8. Apocalypse in the McLaren is P10. He always tends to stick around the midfield, Apocalypse, from what I've seen. Well, Gabo is P11, a long way back from his teammate, Avi was in P1. So 10 positions behind his teammate, he'll be hoping for better. Inorganic is P12. Jaden is 13th in the first of the Corvettes. Gaz is 14th, Fudo 15th, and Knowing Light rounds of the grid in the Renault. So without any further ado, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. When they go out, the drivers will get underway for the sprint race, and away they go. It seems to be a good start for Abhi, but a much better start for IGF, and especially Danos and IGF have got a fantastic start. Look at them just flying out front. And I think they've very comfortably got the lead. I think IGF is going to go for a move on his teammate, and he's going to make it stick. So well done. For the back, I see somebody going into the wall there. Somebody's had a half spin. So I think for the back, there's been a few mishaps over there. I think Cracavelli's lost a lot of positions there. Inorganic as well. Oh, what's going on here? Midfield is getting a bit spicy here. Getting all in on the action here. Jaden getting a little bit out of shape. What a start by Jaden. He started, I believe it was in P13 or P12. He's up to P5. What a start by him there. I would like to confirm that, although I will continue on with the start for now. I believe he is the only Corvette, unless I'm mistaking something over there. Abhi and Gump make contact there. So something's happening here. Let's have a look from Ellis's point of view. I think he was involved in this as well. I hope I'm audible as well. So Ellis goes down the inside. Abhi, I think, just had no room over there. And that's given Gump a bit of damage. Apocalypse moving up a few positions up into P6 now. Young Sappy loses the rear end just as I switch over to them. And he's down to P12, falling down the order. Unfortunate time. Oh, that's Boyan going very, very slow. What's happened here? So Gump going off circuit. We saw that a little earlier. Young Sappy has a bit of a spin here. Was it caused by contact with Boyan? I think it may have been. But Boyan just lets go of the throttle, brakes, and pulls off the track. Doing a bit of lawn mowing here. Oh, but I think he's going to carry on as he is. Cracavelli wants to go for a move on Inorganic. I think he will be able to make it stick. Cracavelli goes for it. Oh, there's a lot of trouble going on here for Ellis and Gump, as we will have a look at what's happened here for these guys. So Ellis is a little further ahead. So Ellis goes for a move on Abhi, and that's contact. That's chaos there. And Gump runs into the back of Ellis, and oh, that's so unfortunate. Abhi has gone from the lead down to P8. in a matter of a few corners here, and he's now with his teammate Gabo, which is, well, on this occasion, it's not a sight he would have wanted to see, I'm sure. And now he has gas to worry about as well. We're going to approach the bridge section in a bit. Bridge section of the circuit. Let's have a look. Knowing Light from the back of the grid is up to P6. He's gained 10 positions. What a start there by Knowing Light. Great start. Apocalypse going for a move on Jaden. Jaden cuts across and up into P3. Jaden. Well done, Jaden. Two Alfa Romeos running 6th and 7th, although both, one is being put under pressure and one is putting the pressure. So Lord Hans putting the pressure on Knowing Light, and Gabo trying to get past Fudo. Api is just behind his teammate. Actually, he's been overtaken by Gaz there. Gaz going for an opportunistic move. They saw an opening there with Api's light as a grip, and now Gaz is sliding around all over the place. Fudo trying to chase up to Lord Hans. Actually, Knowing Light seems to be in a good position in regards to pace. I don't believe that there should be much of an issue in them catching up to Apocalypse. Jaden in P3 is in a very good position here. IJF and Denos have broken clear of the pack. Just see the sheer gap they have to the driver in P3 here. Oh, it's just broken away. I always love to see a Ferrari 1-2, but so early on in the race, not a single lap has been completed yet, so that's pretty surprising. Avi has fallen behind Crackavelli as well. Gas goes very wide there, hits the barrier, and I'm sure has damage. Indeed, he has damage. So the Android livery, the McLaren car, has picked up some damage. A lot of cars very close to one another. I don't think any moves are going to be made here. It's a bit too risky to opt making a move here, but it is getting spicy here. Lord Hans has got past Knowing Light. Knowing Light, I believe, made a mistake at the last corner. Start of lap 2, Lord Hans attempting a move on Apocalypse into the first corner. I don't think you're going to see any moves being made here unless Apocalypse keeps going that wide there. It's going to open up the door for Lord Hans to make a move, at least sniff an opportunity here through this uphill section. Right-hander, they come so perilously close to making contact there. Knowing Light is lagging, I believe it is lag, and that's Apocalypse getting a little bit out of shape there. That's promoted Knowing Light up into P4. So, after losing a position to Lord Hans a few corners ago, Knowing Light is up into P4. Lord Hans stays P5. Apocalypse has lost 3 positions down from P4 to P7. And Gabo is charging up the field here. Start P11, now up to P6, and Apocalypse and Crackavelli almost come to close. Gumb and Fudo battling away, so there's a lot of action going on up and down the field. Gumb and Fudo, I believe, were the 2 drivers who made contact. No, I believe it was Gumb and Ellis, it was, yeah. Ellis a little further back here. Inorganic also looking to get involved in this action here. I think 2 drivers ahead of him battling. Whatever's happened ahead, we saw a yellow flag there, I see. Well, I will rewind here to just get an idea of what's happened. So maybe something's happened up front. Jaden goes off the circuit, and that's a spin for the driver in P3. Fantastic recovery though, Jaden. I will give you full marks for that. Well done. Although I'm sure your tires and your confidence will not be particularly high as a result of that. Nonetheless, well saved, well held. I can't say the same for this one though. Unfortunately, Jaden has had 2 mishaps in a row, back-to-back corners almost. And that is somebody going into the wall. That's Fudo. So they were battling with Gum. You can see Jaden just doing some pirouettes there, and Fudo completely losing traction. And then no grip on the grass or the gravel there. Into the wall goes the Alfa Romeo of Fudo, and it's a slow rejoin back onto the circuit there. So Jaden was looking so promising, had a fantastic start, and is now completely thrown it away here. So unfortunate. However, the race does carry on with Knowing Light going for an audacious move there, and Gabo, well done to him. Knowing Light from 16th is up into 3rd in the Renault. Well done, that's the same car I've chosen for the Reserve Championship, so good on you, Knowing Light, making the Renault team proud here in Tier 5. And I think Lord Hans wants to make the Alfa Romeo team as well a little bit proud. We saw Fudo make a mistake. What about the teammate? Lord Hans will attempt a move on Gabo, I'm certain of it. Unless, no, they decide to back off. I thought it was a pretty good time to make a move. Crackavelli, you could hear the tire squeal in the background there for the Jaguar. I'm not very sure why. Is there contact involved here between Apocalypse and Crackaveli? I'm sure there is. Indeed, there is contact between Apocalypse and Crackaveli. Crackaveli will be pretty damn upset about that. Abhi from pole position has fallen on the other. He will make amends, I'm sure of it. What's going on here between Lord Hans and Gabo? Gabo tries to defend it, but no, Lord Hans does get past and will now set after Knowing Light 354. Despite that, I'd like for you all to take a moment and see the lead that the two Ferraris have here. It's just broken free of the pack. Fantastic pace being shown by the Ferrari guys here. It's just miles ahead now. At this point, all they need to do is keep it clean. Lord Hans trying to chase after Knowing Light has a small drift out of the last corner here. I hope I'm audible. I have not been able to confirm that from any of the viewers. So please do let me know if I'm not audible. I will make immediate amends to my microphone level and so on and so forth. But let us continue on with the action for now. Ellis looking to attempt some moves on Gumb. Gumb obviously having had a few run-ins as well with few drivers, one of whom I believe was Ellis. I hope I'm saying it right. I hope it's going not inorganic. Jaden looking to get back in the pack, and so it's been a terrible race for Young Sappy as of now. It's down in 16th, a long way back from the rest of the field. But there is a lot of action going on in the midfield here, especially here as we see Crackaveli staging a move on. And will he be able to make it staging an attack? Sorry, I'm not staging anything. A lot of people very close to one another. One of whom is the battle between Apocalypse and Gum. Gum looking to go for a move on Apocalypse. Further up ahead, Lord Hans goes onto the gravel there. That will slow them down very much. So, RP moves up into P6. Crackaveli given a bit of a breather there. Apocalypse takes P7 but clips the wall. Oh, that's a very unique way to take that corner. Apocalypse, please do let us know if that is very beneficial to lap time or such. Doesn't seem so. Lord Hans taking the same lane that his teammate had laps ago. On that occasion, his teammate went into the wall. This time around, Lord Hans does keep it on track, so well done. Ellis in P9. Gum has fallen back a little further, so I think there may have been some slight contact between Ellis and Gum. And there's battle going on here between Abhi and Crackaveli. So Abhi can see his teammate has moved up the field. Gabo is currently in P3 ahead of Knowing Light. However, Knowing Light has not disappeared yet. He is still trying to hassle Gabo into making a mistake, possibly having Gabo lose the position in there. Abhi goes onto the grass. That's going to give Crackaveli a great run onto the bridge section, approaching the final sector of the circuit. Crackaveli gets out of the slipstream, looking to make a move on the Supra driver. Let's have a look if we can do so into the next corner. Right-hander. As they brake, Abhi will try to brake later, but no, Crackaveli was far enough alongside and does make the move stick. However, he is gone a bit deep there, Crackaveli. I'm sure Abhi will want to regain the position he's just lost. And Apocalypse can see all this and we get pretty happy about it because he knows these two fight, they're going to lose time, which is going to allow him to catch up. Same goes for Lord Hans, who goes onto the grass. Ellis goes onto the grass and hits the wall and completely loses control of their car. Oh my word. I saw a yellow flag for some reason. Did somebody ahead have a moment? So, we saw a yellow flag for some reason. Let's have a look. Oh, it is indeed. Knowing Light had a moment. Has got damage. Crackaveli and Abhi now run P5 and P4. So we saw Ellis have a moment there. Let's see how they rejoin. Jaden and Gaz got close together. What about Abhi and Crackaveli? Abhi and Crackaveli are also just have a bit of water. Yes, sorry, my apologies. Something flying around my room. Sorry, apologies. We're back. We're going to resume race on lap 4 of 5. This is the penultimate lap of the race. Gabo in P3. IGF and Danos, they're in a very comfortable position. They should not look at doing anything untoward here. It's just bring the cars home at this point. It's a 1-2 for Ferrari. It's a dream result. It will be fantastic for the constructors as well. Gabo is in a good position as well in P3. Craccavelli is still coming under pressure from Abhi. I think Abhi will want to stage an attack on Craccavelli in the next few corners. Especially, I think Craccavelli is taking a bit too much grass on entry. I don't think that's the most ideal way to go about the corners there. But let's see. Anything's still possible. Lord Hans is coming under threat from Apocalypse. Apocalypse just can't seem to find a way past Alfa Romeo right now. Lord Hans in P6. Gum has gained a few positions there. We saw a few spinners there. So Jaden is up to P10. Gaz P11. Fudo. The field is rather spread out further back. It is getting interesting here in the midfield. Battle for P6 is heating up. Lord Hans versus Apocalypse versus the Genesis of Gumb. So it's a 3-car battle, and it seems like Apocalypse has made a bit of a mistake there. That's going to open up the door for Gumb. I'm sure the Genesis will have better straight line speed as compared to the McLaren, but McLaren will have slightly better cornering. Gumb is looking to make a move. Let's see if he can do so. The American against the Brit. To the next right-hander up ahead. I see Abhi getting close to Craccavelli and attempting a move. Oh, there's contact there. There's serious contact. Craccavelli is onto the grass there. Lucky to escape without damage there. But I think he'll be pretty upset. That seemed like Abhi just came barreling into that corner. So let's have a look from the cinematic perspective here. So Craccavelli is alright. Oh, I think Abhi just didn't expect Craccavelli to break there, and Craccavelli just didn't expect Abhi to attempt a move there at that point. But nonetheless, Craccavelli will be upset and Abhi will be happy that he's up into P4. It's damage limitation after the unfortunate first 3 laps of the race. Lap 4 seems to have gone a lot better for him. I think IJF has made a pretty serious mistake on this lap. Lost a lot of time to Gabo. Gabo in P4, so it's a Ferrari 1-2 and it's a Supra 3-4. And I think the rest of the field is rather scattered here. Even the 4 GT cars are quite a ways apart. I think Ellis had another moment during this lap. Oh, that's Gum grazing the wall there. Apocalypse was going a little bit deep into that corner, trying to go for an alternative line. I think that's good to see. Alternative lines are what will help drivers catch up to those around them. This will help them avoid a surprise attack from the driver behind. Gumb. You can see Apocalypse going a little bit too wide there, so that's not the alternative line you need to take. Apocalypse just does not seem to be enjoying the time in the McLaren tonight. Lord Hans a little too far behind Craccavelli to attempt a move here. And Abhi has also broken free from the clutches of Craccavelli. So Craccavelli, I think best case scenario here for Craccavelli is to just hang on to this P5 for now. And the lap time just keep dropping for Lord Hans. As you can see, Abhi has the fastest lap, 3 minutes 7.481. As you can see here, Lord Hans is about 2.5 seconds slower than Abhi on that occasion. Abhi seems to be on fire, as we saw. He's taken pole position, so rightfully so. He is one of the quickest on the circuit here tonight, and he has gone a second up on his delta in the very first sector alone. So it may not be over yet. I think it is in regards to Denos. Denos seems to be pretty damn comfortable at this point, and IGF, I think IGF should also be in a good position. It is a matter of whether Abhi can catch up to Gabo, sorry, not Gumb's a little further back. I keep mixing up their names. Abhi he's on a charge, Abhi. Lord Hans looking to get involved with Craccavelli. I suppose somebody's had a bit of here. Oh no, I think I'm mistaken that. So on the very last lap of the sprint, Lord Hans looking to make a move on Craccavelli. Craccavelli once again kicking up some grass there and taking the rather scenic route to that corner. It's a very scenic location, this. And Lord Hans will be looking to go for a move. Something's happened to Craccavelli, I believe, because they seem to be going a little bit too wide there. Nonetheless, any opportunity provided to Lord Hans, I'm certain that they're going to take it. To the braking zone we go. Craccavelli and Abhi had a bit of a moment here on the previous lap. Craccavelli will not want to have something similar happen on this occasion. and nothing indeed is going to happen on this occasion. Apocalypse goes a little bit deep into the braking zone there. Inorganic in P9, Jaden in P10. It's a shame for Jaden. It looked like it was going to be so promising for him there in the Corvée. But no, it is going to end in P10 at best, at the moment at least. Danos has to navigate the final few corners of this racetrack. Doesn't even need to push it right now, just needs to get it home in one piece. No risk, because the reward for just playing it safe is much higher. Danos takes this long right-hander, has to navigate it without much issue. IJF, it seemed at one point that Gabo would be able to catch up to him, but actually it's Abhi who's been able to catch up a whole lot more to Gabo. So I think Abhi may smash his own lap record on this occasion. He is 3 times up, so I think there's been a bit of a mistake. He's lost almost 6 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths in the middle sectors. But nonetheless, we're going to give a bit of airtime to Danos. What a drive by Danos in the Ferrari. Just dominated out front. Very, very dominant performance there. Takes the win. May not have been the fastest driver, but he certainly held it together. IJF finishes in P2 to make it a Ferrari 1-2. Gabo finishes ahead of his teammate. Anabi does clinch the fastest lap once again. 3 tenths up on his personal best. Crackavelli finishes in P5 just ahead of Lord Hans. Gumb is going to finish P7. It looked like it was going to be P10, but Gumb has managed to keep it on the track and finish in 7th. Apocalypse 8th. Inorganic in 9th. And Jaden, oh, it was looking so promising for him there, but he'll finish in P10. Ellis in P11. Gaz and Fudo. Gaz has got Fudo just before the finish line here. So we're going to see Ellis in P11, Gaz in P12 ahead of Fudo. Boyan and 14th. It's been a bit of a lonely race, a bit of a disappointing race for him there. And Young Sappy is going to finish the race in 15th. I believe we have lost Knowing Light from this race. Yes, indeed, I can't see him anywhere. So props to Young Sappy, despite being a long way back in the field to finish the race. It's always good to see drivers take the checkered flag. And once the Young Sappy crosses the line, we're going to call time on the sprint race, and we're going to move on to the feature. I believe the feature is, don't take my word for it, I think it's 14 laps. There you go. Well done to Danos and IGF. What a drive by the Ferrari guys there. Now we move on to the feature race. Alright, there you go. Technical difficulties, oh, that's very, very unfortunate. It seemed like they were doing really, really well, especially in the first 3 laps or so, until they had their spin. So it seemed like Knowing Light should have been in a very good position. Unfortunate technical issues happen to everyone. We've all faced them at some point. So there you go. I'm not going to look at the finishing order before the race started. Alright, 13 laps, there you go. Don't take my word for it. And indeed, it is 13 laps, not 14. So 13 laps ahead of all the drivers. Jaden, who finished P10, who looked to have pretty good pace, is in P1 on the hards. So is Inorganic in the Ford GT. So is Apocalypse. Gumb chooses a slightly different strategy on the medium tires. Lord Hans is P5. Crackavelli in P6, also opting for the hards. Abhi opts for the mediums. Interesting. So only Gumb and Abhi as of now have opted for the medium tires. Gabo in P8, also on the hards. IJF in P9, also on the hards, and so is his teammate Danos. The sprint race winner, obviously, Danos is going to start on the hardest compound available to the drivers. So is Ellis, so is Gaz, so is Fudo, so is Boyan, and Young Sappy will break that trend. He is the third and only one of three drivers. Wow. Only one of 3 drivers to opt for the medium tires, I believe. Let me just check that. So that is Young Sappy and Abhi and Gumb. Indeed, only 3 drivers opting for the medium tires. So 13 laps of the feature race at Sainte-Croix. Whatever is the right way to say it. We have a long race ahead of us. It's 45 minutes to go, and the lights go out. Jaden goes racing, leads the pack away, and it's a nice livery for Jaden, I must say. Looks to be getting along well up front. And Apocalypse attempting a move, Gump attempting a move on Apocalypse. Gump started in 4th, up to 3rd already. What about Abhi? Not many drivers are on the medium tires, so if they are to make the strategy work, I think they'll have to bring it to about lap 5 or so. Lap 5, maybe lap 6. Fuel usage should also not be too much of an issue here, I think. Maybe I'm mistaken there. Lord Hans getting out of shape there, losing a lot of positions, but luckily keeping it out of the wall. Denos gets into P8. There's contact between the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo, so the two Italian cars making a lot of contact there. And what's happened to IGF? Where is IGF? Up into P8 IGF, so well done to him there. Denos would be pretty damn upset, but not as much as Lord Hans here. That's a mistake for Lord Hans, and Gaz, I'm not sure why Gaz has opted to just back off there. Let's have a look what's happened here. So Lord Hans, so Gaz was hit by Young Sappy, and that has caused a bit of an issue. Yellow flag obviously, as we can see there. Let's have a look at the rest of the field here. So I see Inorganic getting close to Abhi. Gabo trying to go for a move as well. There's contact between Gumb and Cracavelli, and Gumb has come off first. Gumb is now down to P7, and indeed I don't see there's a whole lot going on here. IGF just trying to navigate his way past the back the best he can. You can see there's chaos going on ahead and behind, so it's I think in his best interest to just play it a little bit safe right now. Inorganic gets a little bit close to the gravel there, but luckily keeps it on the black stuff on the tarmac. IGF 7. Abhi has had a fantastic start here. Gumb has fallen back. Oh, there's contact between Gabo and Cracavelli. I think was it? Sorry, that's the wrong button there. So indeed, once again, Cracavelli has run in with a Supra at this very corner. Abhi has just rocketed away. He knows he has the pace, so he's opted for the softer compound of tyre. Just cut across the field, and Abhi is now up into P3, looking to get close to Apocalypse, and that will make Abhi's life a little bit easier there. Although Apocalypse getting out of shape there did not help Abhi's nerves, I'm certain of that. Abhi was definitely a little bit worried there in regards to what Apocalypse would have done. But now Abhi is already up into P2. What a start for the super driver. And Apocalypse was getting wide once again, so it just does not seem to be getting along well with the car, or maybe with the circuit. Apocalypse seems to be running deep at every single hard braking zone. Cracavelli should look at making a move. Gabo is a little further back. Gumb looking to make a move on Inorganic. Gumb seems to be going along well, but I think a little bit of contact, a little bit of chaos can result in the Genius driver dropping down the order, and Gumb takes to the grass slightly there. IGF looking to make the move. IGF obviously finished in P2. Fudo has the penalty and moves out the way. That will allow Denos to breeze by. The two Ferraris did manage to pull away significantly from the rest of the field in the sprint race, sorry. Let's see if they can do something similar in the feature race as well. Ellis with a rather interesting and well done drift there by him. Denos gets past his teammate IGF. Maybe that's a tactical swap by the two Ferraris to lose minimal time here. IGF will not be very happy to, I think, let Denos fly. Or maybe they're trying to race. What are they doing here, the two Ferraris? Let's have a look as they go through this uphill section. They come close, but they don't make contact. So I think they've done a tactical swap here. Denos has got past IJF. Fudo tries to make a move on Ellis for P10, but can't do anything right now. If Denos is not able to pull away from IJF, I think IJF will be pretty eager to get on the radio to his teammate and mention that you need to let me by, mate. Let's have a look up front. Cracavelli and Abhi. Oh, this is getting feisty. So Abhi has lost a bit of time, and I think a few positions as well. It's now Gabo chasing after Apocalypse. So the battle for the podium places is getting pretty interesting here. Abhi coming under from Cracavelli, Apocalypse and Gabo battling away, and there's contact between Gabo and Apocalypse. Gabo will be pretty upset about that, and that little skirmish between those two is going to help Abhi get up into P3, but the little switchback for Apocalypse there. Abhi and Apocalypse side by side, but no, Abhi gets the better run out of that corner and is now up into P3. So this is getting very interesting here. So many battles to follow. The two Ferraris still holding together at a stern. Is the stream still up? Indeed it is. I saw comment just randomly pop up on the screen there. So the two Ferraris coming, the two Supras coming close. I'm used to saying Ferraris for myself and Abhi from last season. Abhi gets past his teammate. I think that was a tactical swap. Abhi's on the softer compound, wants to make the most of the compound while can provide him good grip. Let's see. So I think Abhi will be able to do about get to about lap 7, lap 8 maybe, at the current rate of tire wear and fuel usage. Because he seems to be managing his fuel and tires really well. Gabo coming under threat from Apocalypse, who is still struggling around with grip. Gumb in P5, Crackerelli has fallen back a little bit. And this is getting feisty here. The battle for P3, Gabo versus Apocalypse versus Gumb. What's it going to be through this long right-hander we go? I think it's going to be all going to hold position for now, unless Gumb has something up his sleeve. Well, actually he's coming more under threat from Crackerelli at this point as a result of that. Going slightly deep into that corner. But we start lap 3 and it is Gabo still ahead of Apocalypse, but Abhi seems to be the one to really watch out for. On those mediums he's really making the most of it. Jaden is in a good position in P1. However, Abhi is hunting him down at a very rapid rate. Let's have a look at this little battle here. Apocalypse once again going wide there, opening up the door for Gumb. So the Adeptus ALR car of Gumb does get past the McLaren, and I think that's the move that will be for the long game, because Gumb on those mediums has to make it stick now. He has to make the moves. The mediums will inevitably run out of life much quicker on the Genesis as compared to the Supra, as you can see there. I think Abhi's tire wear is slightly worse than Gumb's, so I know it's just going to be a battle of tire management as well here. Lap 3, Gumb is all over the gearbox of the Supra there. Gearbox, is that the right term? I'm used to F1 terminology. The rear end of Gabo's car, and I think he's going to go for a move, and I think he's going to make that move stick. Or is he? Goes wide there, goes deep into the corner, overshoots his braking point, and Gumb stays in P4 and is going to come under threat from Apocalypse, who will go for a move down the inside, but his braking has been a bit dodgy across this race as of now. Just doesn't seem to be as confident in the braking zone, Apocalypse. Crackerelli in P6, Inorganic 7th, Janos and IGF is still pretty close to one another. I think traffic is really not helping him out there, and indeed Jaden in first must be a dream, but that dream, he has been woken up from that fantastic little dream there. Jaden in P1 loses the position and hits the wall. So the dream has turned into a nightmare, and it's got even worse there. I think that deserves a bit of a replay there, so we can see a very interesting cinematic angle. Thank you game for that. And Inorganic hits Jaden as they returns. So the dream for Jaden turns into a nightmare in a few corners, and there was no contact involved. I'm sure Abhi was indeed sleepy. That is great timing, and I think it is even better timing because I think you will be in the best possible position to make a move on Jaden here, given that he has damage front and rear end, and you have no damage. So I think this is perfect timing there. Not perfect rather, but indeed it's the commentators curse. Do I want to say curse? It's not a very nice term. I don't want to use that, but oh, Apocalypse getting badly out of shape there. But what car control there from Apocalypse. That deserves a cinematic replay there. So once again having trouble with braking their Apocalypse, and as they exit the corner, that's just an immense fishtail there through this section, and that car does not seem to want to comply with Apocalypse's inputs here, but keeps it on the track in one piece, no damage. Well done, Apocalypse. Well done. That is so well held. And also looking to attempt a move, possibly on Cracavelli. No, once again, Apocalypse. Just there's no grip for the McLaren here. Just seems to be getting so out of shape there. And okay, I think that was lag. I heard Apocalypse lifting for some reason, so I'm sure that's not the case. It's just my internet or maybe the replay being a bit dodgy there. We are gonna start lap 4 of this rather exciting race, and we're gonna see start of the lap with Inorganic trying to make a move on the McLaren of Apocalypse. Once again, Apocalypse goes deep and runs a little bit wide, runs onto the grass there. I think Inorganic will be in a good position to make a move on Apocalypse. And who is joining this little battle here? It is Danos here, who is trying to make a move on Inorganic and Apocalypse. The two Ferraris still very close. Apocalypse is getting out of shape at every single corner here. But it's great to see that their car control is so... they have such great car control over the McLaren, despite the car being so snappy on corner exits. Let's have a look once again, getting onto the grass there. The Ferraris don't seem to be exhibiting the same kind of pace that they did on the soft tires. IJF, definitely not so. That's a spin and that's contact, and Young Sappy also crashes in sympathy. So both of them have damage. Oh my word, what's happened there? So we see IJF have a spin here. Jaden will be able to see that and avoid it early on. Young Sappy, I think, just spins on their own. And I think it's Ellis who will collect IJF as the regen. Oh my word, that's contact for Ellis and IJF. Wow. I'm not expecting these spins, they just seem to be coming at the most random parts of the circuit there. I'm expecting the drivers to be able to hold it, but it just seems like the grip on these hards is a little too low. I'm not very certain of the grip levels. I wasn't able to race around here on Monday, so I'm not too sure how the strategy was, how the tire wear was. According to Sappy, it didn't seem like it. Okay, this is getting feisty here. Elbows out for a lot of guys. Where is Abhi? Abhi has pulled out a good gap once again to Gumb. So, I think Abhi's in a fantastic position here. Sorry for that. Did not mean to do that. Gabo in P3 is also in a good position for the Supra cars. Cracavelli in P4. Let's have a look up. Apocalypse still ahead. So, okay, Apocalypse onto the grass there and rejoins behind Danos. May even lose the position to Jaden there, but no, Jaden will have to hang back for the time being at least. Or really, I think he's going to go for a move at the end of this bridge section here. Indeed he is. Brakes a little bit later than the McLaren and they make a little bit of contact there. That's a little love tap between the Chevy and the McLaren. And look who's running the battle. It's Inorganic in the Ford GT. Let's see if Jaden can make the move on the outside on Apocalypse. Indeed, he can, just swipes across and very comfortably got past the McLaren. I think Inorganic will follow suit. Let's have a look into the corner we go. Apocalypse will try a move on Jaden, but I don't think he'll be able to make it stick if he's that far behind. And Inorganic, with the help of the slipstream and the Ford GT's engine, not the Ford EcoBoost engine, I don't think the GT has the EcoBoost engine, but with all the might of the Ford V10, V6, what is it? Not too sure, but whatever it is, the engine within this red Ford is going to do its best to help Inorganic propel Inorganic ahead of Apocalypse. I think it is the case. Inorganic has been able to use the car's engine to its best capacity, but no, Apocalypse will hold position, hold station for now in P7. Jaden has moved back up into P6, so trying to go on a bit of a recovery drive. And look at the sheer state of Jaden's tires as compared to the rest of to those around him. Jaden's front left is in a horrible state right now. Wow. I don't know how he's going to be able to get to... I don't know, what's the target? Lap 7, lap 8 on these tires? Because fuel doesn't seem to be much of a concern here, even if they don't put that much fuel into the car again, I think they'll still be able to get to the flag without any issue. Abhi seems to just be managing tires and fuel so well. Half race distance has been completed on the mediums already, so I'm sure that Abhi will just pit around lap 9, maybe lap 10, possibly for the softs. I'm not too sure of what the strategy is going to be like. And sorry, let's have a look for the back. Apocalypse once again gets onto the grass there, but somehow holds it together, holds it well. But I think indeed Inorganic will be able to get past. So the move Inorganic was not able to complete on the very first corner of this lap. He managed to do so in the halfway through the lap. On lap 5, Kudo a little further back. Jaden also a little further back. So we will have a look here. Denos doesn't seem to be catching up that well to Crackavelli, although Crackavelli is now going to catch up to Gabo, and these two may battle it out. Gumb and Abhi's tire wear is almost the same, but look at the difference in the fuel consumption. Gumb has about 7-8% more fuel usage as compared to the Supra driver as of now. For the back, let's have a look. Once again, Apocalypse takes to the grass there. So I'm not sure which game Apocalypse was playing before GT7, a few moments before the race, because I think he was playing some farming simulator. The amount of times we've seen him on the grass there. But no, indeed, some tracks you just cannot get to grips with your car here. And Apocalypse once again goes deep, and Fudo sees it, and he's seen Apocalypse make a mistake. And Jaden, oh my word, Jaden has been doing a lot of pirouettes here tonight. So you can see Apocalypse go deep into the corner, rejoins. Jaden just, I think, got a little bit worried because of the rejoin there, and his tires and confidence will have taken a hit there, I'm sure. Jaden now down to P11. Boyan will also get past, and I think Ellis is a little too far behind. So it's not going very well for these guys. Lord Hands, Ellis, Gaz, and Jaden, as we can see that Jaden just not enjoying his time in these tires here. What I think Jaden should do is maybe go another lap, maybe 2 if possible, on these tires, and then just put on the mediums and bring it home. We are going to start lap 6. Half race distance has been completed a few moments ago, and Gamb and Api seem to be driving a fantastic race on these medium tires. Even if they should they pit for softs or hards at this point, because I think it's just makes sense to. Would you want to play it safe? Would you want to take a bit of a rest with your tires? Because tire wear is the only thing of concern for these two. Fuel usage seems to be pretty good, especially in Abhi's case. He seems to be managing fuel very well. Gabo is coming under increased pressure from Crackavelli here for the final podium position. So on lap 6, Gabo will want to hold station at least for the time being, if not try to pull away from Crackavelli. But Crackavelli is not one to budge. You can see his tires are holding up pretty well. Gabo seems to be holding up a little bit better, so I'm not very. My observations are a little all over the place here tonight. Crackavelli trying to get close to Gabo, taking an alternative line compared to the Supra there, getting very close to the gravel, luckily keeping off the gravel there. Denos has fallen back a little bit. Inorganic takes to the grass as well. Fudo in P7 will not take to the grass, but has to hold a rather scary slide there. Any slide for these drivers can turn into a very unfortunate spin, so you always need to be vigilant around here. Apocalypse just not being able to get to grips with the car, but he is still in P9 in a good position. So this is the end of the tech-in sector. I hope that is correct in what I'm saying. Oh no, Fudo! So I didn't see any contact between IJF and Fudo. So let's have a look what's happened to Fudo here. I think he just completely missed his braking point there, Fudo, and hits the wall, and car is just glued to the wall right now. Boyan will get past up into P9. And Food is just, I think he's being a bit of a gentleman. We're waiting for the others to pass so he doesn't cause much of a hindrance to them. Ellis will see the Alfa Romeo there as well. Fudo in an unlucky 13th as of now. Oh, it's gone backwards for the Alfa Romeo team here. 13th and 14th on lap 6 of the race. Look, young Sapi got a little bit out of shape but kept her under control there. And Gabo still under pressure from Cracavelli, so Cracavelli is keeping Gabo honest. The tires are in good nick. The medium runners will have to pit within the next lap, maybe 2 laps at most. I don't think the mediums can go that much longer. Abhi seems to be having pretty good pace, even with tires being worn. So I think Abhi will box at the end of this lap, possibly for the softs. Because the gap he's managed to pull out, I think even with a bit of tire conservation, being a bit light on the tires, I'm sure he can get it to the checkered flag without too much issue. Gumb is a long way back from Abhi at this point in time. Gabo still under pressure from Cracavelli, so this is, I think, going to be a race-long battle between these two, Gabo and Cracavelli. Denos a little further back, Inorganic in 6th position. In a good position. Young Sappy pits from the medium, so okay, so this is the first of the medium runners to pit, and Ellis will follow him in. So Ellis also deciding to make a pit stop here, despite his tires being in much better nick. Fudo also pits, so lap 6 seems to be the desired change crossover point for these guys. Young Sappy, I'm sure, is going to go onto the hard tires, while the other two are, I'm sure, going to go onto the mediums. So it's a matter of what the guys up front are going to do. So young Sappy exits the pit lane on the mediums. Wait, am I missing something here? Young Sappy pitted from the mediums and went onto the mediums. So, well, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm sure that's not in the rulebook here. Ellis has opted for the soft tires, and Fudo has pitted from the hards onto the... Unless, am I missing a rule change or something here? So, Fudo on the hards, changes onto the hards again. No, it's on the medium, sorry. So it's only young Sappy there who's gone from the mediums onto the mediums again. Alright, slight observational miscalculations for the other two, but I think young Sappy may have caused himself a bit of a grief there. Jaden getting all out of shape. Look at the state of that front left. Lap 7, this will be the lap Jaden comes in. I can predict that with certainty. Because just look at the state of his tire. There's no way he's going to get to the checkered flag. Go any further in this race on these tires. Gabo and Cracavelli still battling away. Gabo is coming under increased pressure as they go into the bridge section. Gabo may lose a little bit of traction as a result. Yeah, you can see there, getting a little bit squirrely on the throttle there with the rear end. Gabo might just... Rather, we may just see an overtake from Cracavelli on Gabo. Cracavelli will have the inside line, brakes later, and I think he's going to be able to make it stick as well. Is the American driver in the Jaguar, and there you go. Well done, Cracavelli up into P3. However, up front, I'm very interested to see what these two decide to do. I'm sure it's going to be a pit stop on this lap. Doesn't make sense to stay out any longer. But what do they pit onto? Softs or medium? Softs or hard, sorry. Abhi takes the final corner of the circuit and stays within the pit lane designated line there. Abhi pits from the mediums. Gumb, what is Gumb going to do? Gumb will also box. What about Cracavelli and Gabo? So they are line astern. These two are so evenly matched on pace, and they are also going to pit on this lap. And oh, I think that's a corner, not a corner cutting, sorry, it's a pit line cut from Gabo. Denos also boxes. Inorganic could go another lap, but I don't think why they would opt to do so. Indeed, Inorganic will also box. So Abhi has exited on the mediums, no, on the hards. There you go. It takes a moment to refresh. And Gumb, I think, will also opt for the hards, unless, yeah, indeed, it's the hards for Gumb as well. Oh, getting a little bit out of shape there. And no, there is no penalty for Gabo there. And I will take a moment, sorry, getting a bit of a phone call. Yes, sorry for the delay. I have a phone call to attend to. Gumb and Abhi are on the hards. Gabo is on the mediums. This is going to be interesting. I think Gabo will be able to get Gumb without issue in the next few corners, given that the hards will be a little cold and not have as much grip right now. What about Cracovelli? I think everybody else will opt for the mediums. There's no question about it. Yeah, indeed. Everybody has pitted onto the medium tires, including young Sapi, who went from the mediums to the mediums again. So unless he intends to pit for the softs later on, young Sapi has done himself no favors. I think that will warrant a 1 minute penalty as per the rule book. Apocalypse still struggling with the braking, as we can see there, just not being able to keep a grip on what the McLaren just seems to have a mind of its own around here. As we can see, Gaz also not having the best of races. Gaz is not yet pitted, mind you. So I think Gaz is the only driver to not have pitted. Ellis's tires are running out so quickly. That is Gaz onto the grass there. Kudo's driving a bit of a lonely race right now. And up front, Gumb has been passed by Gabo. Let's have a look how it happened. So yeah, indeed, Gumb goes a little bit wide there at corner exit, and that opens up the door for the Supra driver to get past. And says thank you very much to the Genesis driver. And there you go, just a superior grip right now. And only trouble for Gabo now is he'll have to use up a lot of his tires just to catch up to Abhi. You can see the gap on the top right there in the mini-map. Abhi's lead is massive right now. Gabo has a long way to go to catch up to Abhi. And even if he does, he'll have to use up a lot of his tires. I just don't think there'll be enough laps for him to catch up to Abhi right now. Abhi just seems to be driving so composed and comfortable with his car. That's why I was a little bit concerned whether he's going to go into the softs or whether he's going to opt for the hard tires. Nonetheless, don't believe Gumb will have anything to offer up to Gabo in terms of a battle. Indeed, I think Gumb will just want to hang on ahead of Cracovelli. However, Cracovelli is also on the mediums, and I think will be very, very feisty here. But I don't think we can discount Gumb already. The Adeptus car has been pretty good, and Gumb loves to scrape the exit of the barrier at the barrier at the end of the bridge there. Has done it on a few occasions already. There you go, Cracovelli is there. You can see Cracovelli, but not too far back. We'll be looking to also move on Gumb in the next few laps. Denos driving a bit of a lonely race. Everybody in the midfield is driving a bit of a lonely race right now. These cars are close together, but it's really these guys, Cracovelli, Gumb and Gabo, who are so close to one another. Abhi has already started lap 9, and these guys are just taking the last one. Abhi is driving really nicely here. He's taken pole, obviously, so we know he has the pace, but he's showcasing some great pace here. Abhi. Gumb still there. Cracovelli actually he's pulled out a bit of a gap to Cracovelli there. Denos is in a very lonely spot on the track right now. So is Inorganic. Indeed, you can see that Apocalypse, as we say that, going for a move on Boyan, but loves to take the grass around this track. So Apocalypse is enjoying the farming simulator version of GT7. Boyan will try to do a bit of a switchback here. Will try to go for a move to regain the position he's just lost, but no, Apocalypse will hold position, but once again getting close to the grass there, so never mind, he is on the grass. So Apocalypse loves this grass down here. And into the left-hander we go. Once again, let's see if Apocalypse goes deep into the corner. No, actually navigates it very well, Apocalypse. So I think finally he's come to grips with his car. So let's have a look into this. Left-hander we go. Jaden. Oh, what's happened to Boyan? Jaden did not seem like he was close enough to make a move here. I think Boyan just got a little bit out of shape there, or no, Boyan just... Oh, he went deep into the corner. There you go. So that's opened up the door for Jaden to make the move on the Jaguar driver. Up front, let's have a look. Young Sappy. It is P8 for now, but I think the stewards may want to have a look at it. Inorganic in IGF and P7. So these guys, P5, 6 and 7 are just having a bit of a lonely race, although Dano's just made it a little bit more interesting there by going onto the grass and giving himself a little bit of worry. Cracavelli still chasing after Gum. Gum keeping Gabo honest. So I think Gabo has his work cut out for him here right now. With the genesis of Gum so close to him. Abhi is at the end of the bridge there. And these guys are yet to start the bridge section. This is going to be pretty interesting. I don't believe these guys will be able to catch up to Abhi by the end of the race. The sheer pace he's shown here, Abhi, is just fantastic. Let's see further back. Gum could make a move on Gabo, but just doesn't seem to get the exits that he needs to. Gabo, not sure. Gabo has quite a bit less fuel as compared to Gum, so I think Gum knows that his fuel usage is higher in the Genesis as compared to Gabo's in the Supra. So I think that's why he's opted for to top up his car with a little bit more fuel. And Abhi is going to start lap 10, 4 laps to go in this race. Gabo just about taking the last corner right now. Gum keeping him honest there, staying close. Cracavelli, I think Cracavelli is also just trying to hang on. Clips the barrier there, but no damage. Lucky for him there. Inorganic, IGF, Benos, all driving very isolated and quiet races. The Ferraris just didn't seem to have the pace and the feature like they did in the sprint. So I think towards the end of the race, in any case, I think the Supras were able to catch up to them. So I think they just were able to navigate the chaos very well in the sprint race. IGF, yeah, Young Sappy also driving a bit of a big race. Boyan close to Jaden, but not close enough to make a move. Apocalypse getting close to the grass every single corner, but keeping it on the track for now. Lap 10 has begun for most of the field, apart from Kudo, Lord Hans, Ellis and Gaz. Gaz is fair play to him. He is keeping it on the circuit right now, and he is still racing despite being in 15. So props to him. That's always good to see a driver carry on with their race. There you can see Gum has fallen back a little bit from Gabo and is coming under threat from Cracavelli. So it seemed like Gum was able to maintain pace, match pace with Gabo, but it just doesn't seem like that's happened right now. Cracavelli is steadily gaining on the Genesis. Denos is not too far behind either. I don't think it's going to be, in any case, he's going to be able to close up to Cracavelli and Gum by the end of the race, unless there's a spin or a crash for them. Oh, what's happened to Inorganic here? Inorganic was between the two Ferraris, has gone onto the grass there and has spun, given himself damage, and has rejoined ahead of Young Sappy. No, he's behind Young Sappy. So, is he ahead of Jaden? He will be ahead of Jaden. There, Jaden himself not having the most enjoyable race here. Clips the grass there a little bit, kicks up a little bit of grass, I must say. Oh, once again Inorganic. I think he's just a little bit out of shape here. Not able to get the best out of the tires and best out of the car. Immediately after a spin like that, Boyan is now up into P9, Jaden in P8. So the Jaguars are also pretty far apart on track. Cracavelli is trying to hassle Gum for the final podium position. Gabo, I think Gabo's broken free of Gum for now. Cracavelli will have to get past Gum and then get past Gabo. Then he'll have to close up to Gabo. So it's a long way to go for Cracavelli in this race if he wants to get to P2. He is showing good pace though. Abhi pits for the softs, I believe. Why would he pit though? He's in a very comfortable position. So, not sure why Abhi has opted to box. Yeah, you see Gabo's right there, and I don't think there's going to be some team orders at play. I'm sure there's going to be some team orders. But if you're Abhi, why would you choose to pit? I know the fastest lap does give you a point, but wouldn't you do it a lap later in that case? You know, because if you pit now, you're going to give others the indication of what your pace is like. Nonetheless, let's see. I'm sure team orders are going to be in play here, and in any case, I don't think Gabo's going to be able to hold back after this charge. It's lap 11 of 13. Gum is coming under immense pressure from Cracavelli, and as we go through the right-hander, this has caught out a few drivers over the course of the race. Oh no, there are a lot of similar looking right-handers. Abhi is right on the tail of his teammate here. I'm sure he's going to be getting on the radio to let Gabo know that there's a driver swap incoming. So Abhi is faster than you. The message I think will go to Gabo in a moment, and Cracavelli gets past Gum. So Gum's hard tires not being able to show giving the same level of grip that he wanted as opposed to the mediums. Gum gets close to Cracavelli, but no, I think Cracavelli has it in the bag for now at least. Gum is still there, and Abhi and Gabo still holding position. This is a detriment to Abhi's pace right now. Although he is faster, Gabo being ahead of him is limiting his pace to a significant extent. Abhi tries to outbrake his teammate. Cracavelli, if these two battle it out, Gabo and Abhi, this will open up the door for Cracavelli to get close and get past. The field spread really is not helping me here because there's a lot of battles to follow. There's the battle for the lead though. The two Supras, Linus Stern, Gabo and Abhi, and I think Gabo will let his teammate by, or are they going to race? No, I think I think they are racing actually, Abhi and Gabo, and the biggest beneficiary in this is going to be Cracavelli. Gabo's still trying to battle it out. He knows there's a potential shot at P1, but I think it's very important for the Supra guys to finish and get some good constructors points here. The past few races has not gone very well for them. Gabo goes deep into that corner, almost hits his teammate there, but Abhi retakes the lead, and I'm sure lap 12 is going to be his swan song. He is going to go all out on this lap and attempt another fastest lap. So 308.334 is what Abhi has to beat to secure the fastest lap. Gabo will not be able to hang close to Abhi at this point, at least. Cracavelli may be able to close up to Gabo by the end of the last lap. I feel like that's going to be the case here. Gums, I think Gum's gonna have to settle for P4. Just doesn't seem to have the confidence in the car right now. Denos, IGF. Oh, I see somebody else was there. Oh, somebody had a spin. It is young Sappy who has damage here on the front right corner of the car. Apocalypse once again is getting close to the grass there, but unfortunately in P11, Inorganic and Boyan are trading positions. I think Boyan will launch an attack on Inorganic in a few corners time. Ferraris are having a pretty quiet race. Boyan goes so deep into the corner there. That is going to allow Inorganic a bit of breathing room. This is the penultimate lap of the race. Not long to go in the race now. In regards to Cracovelli and Gabo, I think Cracovelli I know I mentioned that he will be able to close up by the end of the last lap, but I don't think that's going to be it's going to be as close as I thought it would be. Cracovelli may be able to gain a second or so. What's happened? Oh, it's a spin! It's Gabo! So, taking the right-hander here, Gabo clips the grass there. And just sheer understeer will take him towards the wall, and that is a dangerous. And he's got engine damage as well. Oh, that's a rejoin, which is going to be a bit of a problem there. But Gabo was looking so confident, and he was looking so likely to be a Supra 1-2. And at this point, Gabo's engine is also struggling. The Ferrari is going to be able to get past, I'm sure, around the bridge section, because the damage on the Supra is quite extensive. At least Denos has been able to close up. He's not been able to pass Gabo, but so unfortunate for Gabo there. He's looking so promising there. And I think this is the final classification that we're seeing here. Abi is almost 8/10 up on his personal best. So a 308.334 will certainly be beaten by Abi on this lap, I think, provided he can get across in time. And Gaz is fitted for the softs as well. I think he's going to go for a glory lap as well. Is the McLaren driver, who's a long way back from the rest of the field. Ellis takes to the grass here, gravel, sorry. And Fuko is 13th, Young Saturday is 12th. Lord Hans also driving a bit of a loopy race in P11. Apocalypse up to P10. Denos and Gabo so close. It's going to be a matter of whether Denos can get ahead of Gabo by the end of the race. Gabo's confidence will be absolutely shot right now. You can see that this is the same corner where one lap previous Gabo was battling with his teammate and just had so much confidence in the car. Right now I think Gabo just wants to hang on to P4, doesn't want to make any mistakes, obviously so. And Abi has beaten his lap time considerable margin there. 308.334 has been, he's beaten it by 1.1, almost 1.1 seconds, and this is the last lap for him. The others, well, they're a long way back. Gabo and Denos very close, starting the last lap. We do have a battle going the very last lap of the race. Into turn 1 we go. Gabo will be able to hold position in P4 ahead of Denos for the time being at least. Through this uphill right-hander we go. Let's see if Gabo will go a little bit deep or whether Denos chooses a slightly alternative line. Ferrari will be wanting to make moves. Jaden pits. Jaden's front left is completely destroyed there. I'm sure he's going to go onto the softs, just pit for tires and leave the pit lane immediately. There you go. Very quick pit stop for Jaden. Onto the softs she goes. Is he? Softs? Yeah, it is softs. So I think he should be able to catch up to Lord Hands and Apocalypse. Boyan is now in a good position. Boyan was not looking like he was going to be in P8, but indeed, it just plays out so well sometimes when you're least expecting it. Inorganic's a long way ahead of Boyan right now. They're now still chasing after Gabo. I don't know if he'll be able to get past. I don't think he will. Gabo will have the presence of mind to hold on for the time being. Takes this corner rather cautiously. as a result of what happened in the previous lap. And look at Abi, he's already approaching the bridge section, and these guys are yet to even reach there. I think there's about a 10, maybe 15-second gap between Abi and Crackaveli right now. There's a lot of pace difference here. But Abi is going to enter the third sector or the fourth sector of this racetrack. I think this is one of the only tracks with 5 sectors actually. So this is the end of sector 3, start of sector 4 for Abi. It's been a fantastic drive by Abi. The decision to pit and go onto the soft tires was slightly concerning in my eyes, but he's been able to make it stick. So I must say he's proven me wrong there. Well done, Abi. His fuel levels are running low, his tire life is running low, but he's done exactly all that he needed to do. And he is going to come across the line. I'm going to have a look further back just in case, see if there's a few battles going on. No, Denos has not been able to catch up to Gabo. Further back, Boyan Apocalypse was still battling away, but we'll give a bit of airtime to RB274. What a drive by him there. Pole position. Could not make it in the sprint, but he has managed to do so in the feature. He has managed to take the win and maximum points from the feature race because he has the fastest lap as well. Crackaveli will finish P2. It seemed like it would be P3, but indeed after Gabo's spin, Crackaveli has just kept it on track. Gamb gets what seemed after the pit stop to be an unlikely podium there, but Gamb will be on the podium. Gabo will be P4 ahead of Denos. Denos could not do much on the last lap there. IJF will be P6. A bit of a lonely race for IJF. Flashes his lights and finishes the race in 6th. Inorganic is a lonely P7. Apocalypse in P8. And Lord Hans has also managed to get past Boyan. So Boyan goes from P8 to P10. I'm not too sure if we're going to see that in the replay on the last lap, losing 2 positions there, and oh my word, Boyan taking a very scenic route to the line, and he's lost the position to Jaden. Lord Hans spins. Boyan will still finish in the top 10. Lord Hans, last lap, last corner. I'm going to give it the cinematic treatment because oh my word. So just clipping a bit of the curve there and very cinematically finishing off your race, Lord Hans. I think you're still going to finish ahead of young Sappy here. There you go. Jaden will grab P9, Boyan will grab P10. And young Sappy, will he be able to beat Lord Hans to the line? I think he will. It's going to be a drag race, or is it? No, young Sappy is going to be comfortably ahead, but young Sappy's tires choices will be called into question by the stewards. I think Fudo will be 13th. And I think we're going to have to fast forward because Gaz is a long way up the field. We are going to fast forward a little bit here. Fudo will finish an unlucky 13th. Ellis navigates the last corner in 14th. Penultimate finisher. And there we go. Bit of a forgettable race for Ellis here. And last lap, he is out of fuel, almost out of fuel here. Gaz is on the bridge. And he's up on his personal best, but no, I don't think it's going to be a fastest lap attempt for him here. So Gaz will navigate the final few corners. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here just to get things sped up a little bit there. He's up on his personal best. I'm going to give him the cinematic treatment as he will come across the line. There you go. With this, we will conclude the race, and there you go. Gaz navigates the last corner and he will finish the race. That's what matters at the end of the day. Well done to Gaz for finishing the race, but so well done to Abi. What a drive by him. Just so confident with the car and tires. Well done. And with that, thank you everyone for tuning in today for this stream for the Sainte-Croix race. We will be back sometime next week with the race around. I need to have a look at the calendar. Autodromo Lago Maggiore East. That should be an interesting race as well. But thank you to all the drivers for taking part. Thank you to all you viewers for tuning in. Thank you to all those who left a comment. And thank you for tuning in. We will be back sometime next week. Until then, thank you. Take care. Good night and goodbye. Live long and prosper.